Welcome to this episode of Wreck-It Recruiter. I'm Katie McConnell Olson, your resident Wreck-It Recruiter, here to teach you all about how to do everything with hiring and recruitment wrong and then complain about it. Brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and GrowthWise Search Partners, providing human capital and hiring solutions for rapid growth companies throughout the United States. And today we have a very special episode of Wreck-It Recruiter because it's story time. And you may know the tale of Mr. Wrinkles. It's a famed tale that you may know of the story of Mr. Jamie Wrinkles. Shall we begin? Now, once upon a time, there was a candidate, and he was over 40. Now, we call that a protected class, according to the U.S. Age Discrimination Employment Act. But for purposes of this story, let's just call Mr. Jamie Wrinkles of a certain age. Okay? And now Jamie had been laid off due to a massive downsizing after 14 years with his company. He would have retired there if the company hadn't decided to relocate all of their operations to Costa Rica, as you can see by all the animals. So Jamie had a few job interviews here and there, and he was starting to feel super sad that he wasn't landing any roles. Then one day, Jamie had a great phone interview. He talked with the recruiter over the phone for almost an hour, and she told him that the hiring manager would soon be in touch, and that was the company owner of a startup company. And she was right. They actually called. Jamie was ecstatic. He hadn't made it this far along in his job interview process, and he was very excited about this particular role with a startup that had just received a big injection of equity. So the day of Jamie's interview, he arrived and he stood in awe of the building in the parking lot. Startup Co. Inc. Wow. It was his dream to work in Microchip Valley at a sexy startup. So he headed inside for his interview. Everything seemed like it was going well. During the interview, Jamie was asked how he sees himself fitting in. He looked around, he loosened his tie. He thought to himself, I can get a hoodie and trade my reasonable mid-sized sedan for a Tesla. How hard could it be? Instead, Jamie talked about his qualifications, his recent educational pursuits, and his 14 years of extremely relevant experience. It was a slam dunk. Jamie knew he was the most qualified for the job, which required a very unique skill set that only he and a few other candidates in the metro market possessed. He was asking for slightly less in salary, and he thought he had it in the bag. All his dreams were finally coming true. After the interview, the recruiter called Jamie. She said he nailed it, and the hiring manager, CEO, would get back to him right away. Jamie heard nothing for 2 weeks. He began to lose hope. He was feeling very sad. Then he heard that familiar ding of a cell phone. He ran over to his phone to see who it was, and it was a text from his mom. But then, right after that, the phone rang, and Jamie answered. Mr. Jamie Wrinkles. Hello, Mr. Wrinkles. It was Silicone Startup Company, Inc. He was delighted. Jamie listened as the CEO shared his thoughts about the interview. The CEO informed Jamie that he just wouldn't fit in because of his age compared to all the other employees. How would he report to 24-year-old Julian? It just didn't compute. The CEO said that due to the age, he just wasn't a culture fit. Defeated, Jamie hung up the phone. Jamie had hit his last straw and knew something wasn't right. He returned that text to his mom, and then he spent the next 3 hours Googling employment law, and he sued the crap out of Silicone and Company, and he won. And Silicone and Company filed for bankruptcy, having lost a lawsuit due to age discrimination in interview process. And nobody lived happily ever after. The end. All right, so that was an interesting story, the story of Mr. Wrinkles, as you might know. Again, this is all in good fun. However, hopefully what you're hearing and taking away from this is a scary tale about how age discrimination can show up in your interview and hiring process. So maybe some of that may have resonated with you as maybe something that you have inadvertently maybe crossed that line on or not, and something to be very careful of in your hiring process. To take a deeper dive into how we can help optimize your hiring or take it off your plate entirely, click on the link in the description and we'll be glad to help you. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe as well. See you next time.